I absolutely had to make $25,000 in the next 30 days as a home improvement professional. This is what I would do. Disclaimer right out the gate, I am not a home improvement pro by trade, but I have spent years in the industry as a marketing director for a $3 million a year home improvement company. During that time, I learned what it takes to drive results in the space. And by the way, we didn't start with a huge budget or that revenue, we grew to that, okay? In this video, I'm going to just break down in simple detail what I would do to generate 25K in 30 days. These are strategies that work and strategies that you can implement. So let's jump right in. So the simplest way to make more money is to make more offers, okay? And there's 3 steps: traffic, nurture, and convert. So what does that mean? Well, making more offers means pitching more people, right? The more pitches, the more money you make, even if you sucked at pitching, right? It's a volume game. So number 1, you need traffic, which is people interested in your services who are going to engage in conversations with you. Second thing is you need to nurture them. So you can't just jump in and try and sell too hard straight away. You need to kind of educate them a bit, listen to them, talk about their project, put some value up front, invest some time, build some trust, because that then sets you up for the conversion, which if you do the first 2 steps, and particularly the second step right, it's a wrap. Like, you almost don't even need sales skills if you do this right. So let's jump in and start with more traffic. So how do you get more traffic? First thing and easiest, right? Google My Business. You guys already know about that. This is not news, but it's going to set up something that is really important. So first thing is, it's not just about claiming Google My Business. You need to optimize it, right? Otherwise, you're missing out on a ton of traffic just naturally. So the first thing I want you to do is ensure that your profile is complete with up-to-date information. So your hours, the services you offer, put your socials on there, like whatever it is. Then you need high quality photos, okay? The more recent and the more high quality, the better. If you don't have any high quality, don't wait to take photos. Your iPhone is good enough. Snap the pictures, put them up there, okay? Try and do it in good lighting, make it look as good as you can. And then you need regular posts about your services. You can use ChatGPT to generate posts, okay? So you can just do a post on the top 10 questions homeowners usually ask about roofs. Put that into ChatGPT. It's going to write it for you, post it. Go and do 3, 5 of them now and get them on your page. And straight away, you're going to start getting more results in Google My Business just for that alone. And the reason is, businesses that update their Google My Business listings are twice as likely to be considered reputable by customers, right? So the more up to date it is, the more reputable they think you are, the more they're going to want to reach out to you. Simple updates can make a huge difference. Second thing is you have to get verified, okay? And here's why. Google local service ads are your new best friend. I don't know if you've heard of them. Maybe you have. There's a bit of a buzz in the industry about them. The hype is real, okay? These ads are so special because it's like having a trusted friend introduce you directly to homeowners who are actively looking for your services. And that trusted friend is Google, okay? People trust Google. Google will endorse you. So let me explain how that works. Well, the thing that's really important is exclusivity, right? Google lets you bypass kind of the noise and the competition of all of your other competitors in your industry who are landing in front of clients. Instead, Google's going to endorse you over them and get you in front of clients who are ready to hire you. So how does it work? Well, a lot of lead gen services today, they get a lot of your competition in front of the contractor, and then it becomes a price conversation, right? It's like race to the bottom, who will charge the least, because homeowners will always pay the least if there's no other reason to buy from one person. So what do I mean? If there's 5 people and they kind of look the same experience, they're all like good dudes, the only thing that can differentiate them is price. So you have to differentiate yourself in order for price not to be the only conversation, okay? So I'm going to talk more about that in the nurture section. But what you can also do is not have your ad next to everybody else. So Google local service ads, what they do is, it's not like Angie's List, right? Where 10 contractors are calling the same customer. No, in this case, the customer connects directly with you. They see your ad, they choose to call you, and you guys get the call, okay? So yes, they might do that on a couple of people, but it's going to be way less. And I'm going to tell you how to be the one that wins when they do reach out to you in just a moment. But the bottom line is really there's like no bidding wars, okay? Or much less, let's put it like that. So it's a one-on-one interaction you get with a homeowner who needs your expertise. And you might think like setting up something like this is technical. It's actually quite simple. So first you set up your Google My Business account, and that verifies you as like a real business. It makes you eligible for a Google Guarantee badge. Okay, this is super important. This is a trust signal for homeowners that boosts your credibility. Google Guarantee makes homeowners almost feel like Google is endorsing you. Okay, so it's super powerful, and I honestly don't see many businesses with this. Once you're verified, you can then set up your ad parameters, which is like how much do you want to spend on Google local service ads and what's your service area, meaning I do roofing for homeowners in Trenton, New Jersey, for example, and I'm willing to spend $1,000. Okay. You might recoil at having to spend money, but listen, you're going to either have to spend time or money. And if your window to generate this amount of money is 30 days, you don't have time. You need results now and you need to spend some money. Okay. There are other strategies to generate leads more predictably over time, but we're working on short timeline here for this example. So let's go into kind of the nuts and bolts of a Google local search ad. So your ad appears at the top of the Google search results, and this is the most important part. When you normally search for a service, let's say roofer in Trenton, New Jersey, you're going to get Google paid listings at the top, right? Which are the people who are targeting that keyword, roofer in New Jersey, right? They appear at the top. You've also got your Google My Business stuff, and then you've got the organic search results. Google local search ads appear above all of them. And the kind of journey is the client searches, let's say kitchen remodeler near me, your ad shows up with your business name, phone number, and the Google Guarantee badge. The homeowner clicks to call, and just like that, you have a direct lead. The higher you are on the Google search results, the more likely you are to get that click. Google had some research years ago that position 1 gets about 40% of the clicks. Position 2 gets about 12.5%. And after that, it's way less. So the higher you are on the results page in Google, the more likely you are to get those leads. And you imagine in a big space, a big industry, in a big location, there's probably hundreds of people searching a week, maybe thousands, right, for this service. And if you compare at the top, that's awesome. In a smaller industry, if you work just in like your local community, there's less competition, so it's easier to rank higher for less money. So in short, you can kill it in this space, right? The other thing that I really love is you only pay for actual leads, not clicks. So if someone clicks on your ad but doesn't call, you don't get charged. It's a pay-per-lead model, which means you get the most out of your advertising budget. If you're a smaller company, that's important, right? You don't have unlimited money to invest. So a real-world example, there's a contractor that I know, and he decided to try these type of ads. Within the first month, he got over a dozen qualified leads, and 5 of them converted into high-value projects. Now, this is because in his space, he does interior design, right? So he does the contracting part as well, but they have like a design arm and contracting. So those projects can be significant. Projects are upwards of 10, 15, 25K, depending on the space. So in the first month, he was able to generate way more than 25K. I think the value was about 65K total. And the kind of main value was he wasn't sifting through cold leads or dealing with the competition. He was engaging directly with clients who are ready to use his services, or at least ready to consider. Other few things that I really like, LSAs can be paused or adjusted at any time. So if you're swamped with work and you need to slow down, you just tweak your settings. It's also flexible, so you can scale up or scale down based on your current workload or your current budget. But generally what I would say is if you're tired of getting low quality leads and you want a more efficient, direct way to connect with clients, LSAs might be that game changer that you've been looking for, okay? And I really think like once you see the results, you're going to wonder how you ever manage with them. And by the way, I'm not pitching you on me doing the local service ads for you or anything like that. I don't want to do that. We don't do that. I'm just kind of sharing this with you because it works. So that's step 1. Step 2 is nurture by educating first. So the first concept I want you to be aware of is something called the 5 stages of awareness, right? So let me pop this up so you can see it. So there are 5 stages somebody goes through before they buy. So in the beginning, they're unaware, where they're oblivious to the problem and their need to solve it. Then they're problem aware. So they're aware that they have a problem, right? So up here, let's say you're a roofer. If there's no hole in the roof, they're unaware of the roof, right? There's no problem, no need to solve it. If there's a hole in the roof and there's a leak or something, now they're problem aware. So they're conscious and frustrated by the problem, but they're not really sure that solutions like yours exist. So they're aware of a problem, not the solution. They then start typing roofer near me. Then they become solution aware because they're actively seeking information to solve their pain, right? So, okay, there's these 10 companies, there's roof maintenance, there's a new roof, there's this sealant, like all these different ways to solve that problem of a leak in the roof. So then they become product aware, or in this case, you could say service aware, where they recognize your company as the solution and they want to learn more. So in this case, they're reaching out to you to find out about you, how you can solve the problem, what you charge, all of that. And then in the end, they're most aware, where they're educated on why your company and the way you solve it is the best, and they're ready to buy, okay? And only 3% are ready to buy in any market. So the other 90% are somewhere along here, and the vast majority are obviously unaware. But the vast majority who have a problem are in here, where they actually need educating about the problem, then understand the solutions, and then understand why you. And it has to be done sequentially in order. What a lot of home pros do wrong is they talk to somebody and they get right into, okay, where are you? What's the job? They're already calculating and they're in like sales mode. You need to understand that you have the curse of knowledge, right? You already understand the problem and all of that. And you want to demonstrate expertise, so you jump in. But the homeowner needs to understand the problem. So you need to step into their world. So, okay, tell me about the problem. When did you first discover it? Where is it? Like those triage questions, but listen to them, get the information. Then educate them real quick. Don't go into jargon. Just tell them like, okay, I need to come and see it, but something like this, generally, this is the problem. And if you leave it, this is what can happen. We've had homeowners like this. One of them, this happened and they didn't do it. And this was the problem. So you can kind of drop in some of those sales points, but you're going to tell them like, it sounds like this. And then the thing, like when you understand the problem, you're going to tell them, okay, the way to solve this is a few ways. You might just be a sealant. It can be a quick job. It could be a new roof. It could be like whatever the different solutions are, right? You can tell them I need to go out, but I just want you to kind of be aware of they're the solutions. And, we've done a ton of them in the industry. We've been working for 15 years. We've got thousands of Google reviews. So you can do that to get the home visit, right? Or to get the visit where you actually go and see the issue. But you're not jumping straight into that. You just spend a bit of time in problem aware and then solution aware. Okay, really, really important. And by the way, this was one of the keys that got us to $3 million a year in annual revenue. It was focusing on that instead of jumping straight into, here's why you should buy from us. Here's why we're the best, okay? The second thing that we did is we used something called buying criteria. And this was designed to make us the only choice, okay? So what's buying criteria? Every homeowner has an unspoken set of criteria that needs to be addressed before they'll be willing to buy. And when you do this right, it makes you the only choice because nobody else does this, right? So for example, there are things that that a homeowner doesn't, that if they make a mistake with that, it's going to cost them. So in our home improvement company, we used to do swimming pools, and all our competitors used pipes from China that broke within a year or two, and it caused leaks and maintenance issues and more expenses. We used pipes from the US, and they had a 10-year guarantee. So if a pipe did break, which was way less likely, right? It was like 10% of the chance, then they were covered under guarantee and we'd come and just repair them. The competitors didn't. So even though they could charge less than us up front, it's because they were cutting corners on the materials and it could have a detrimental effect. Another one is in the landscaping part of our business. These guys would let somebody put a pergola or a gazebo up without permission from the local community, or they would plant trees within 1.5 meters of the fence, which was a zoning violation. And homeowners actually had their trees pulled up by the community and they had to replant them, further away. So we would tell homeowners these things. The ways you can do it is, one, you can do a guide like this, 7 things you should know before building a custom home, 7 things you must know before designing a new home. Or you can even be more aggressive, like, the 9 things you need to know before you hire anybody for your roof. Okay, so that is more of like why you versus them, because you're educating them to become a better buyer and not to make an expensive mistake. And you do that whether you get the project or not, okay? So you can do it through a PDF like this, which you just send to them, and it works really well. When you have the contact reach out to you, you do the initial discovery call where you're kind of telling them a bit about you. You're, again, understanding the problem, telling them a bit about the solution. And then before you go out for the discovery call, you say, hey, awesome, before I come, you might be speaking to a lot of other companies. Listen, there's some people out there that they do things where they cut corners a bit and it can really cost you. I've got this guide. I'm going to send it over. It's a 2-page PDF. It's 7 things you need to know before you buy whatever it is, the thing you do, right? And just use that and ask these companies these questions. It's going to avoid you making a mistake. We've had people that made this mistake and it cost them tens of thousands of dollars. So even though they paid less up front, sometimes it cost them way more down the line. Have a look. I'll see you Tuesday, right? So it's just kind of a conversation like that. When you do that, you build trust, you educate them, you're helping them be a better buyer. And that creates reciprocity, which means that they are going to want to hire you, or at least give you a shot to quote, right? Because you've done that. Humans are collaborative species, and we've developed as we have because we work together, right? So when you do something for someone else, they're hardwired to want to reciprocate, okay? So buying criteria, that's a really important piece. The last one in this section is about speed to lead. So Harvard Business Review has this research called the short life of online leads, okay? And this is fascinating. So most firms are slow to respond. So 0 to 5 minutes, there's 586 companies, but it then goes down, and most either don't reply. 512 didn't reply in this study, and 538 took more than 24 hours. Check this out, okay? So they looked at 1.25 million sales leads received by 29 business-to-consumer and 13 business-to-business companies in the US. The firms that tried to contact potential customers within an hour of receiving the query were nearly 7 times as likely to qualify the lead, which they defined as having a meaningful conversation with a key decision maker, right? That's huge. 7 times more likely as the companies that tried to contact the customer even an hour later, and more than 60 times as likely as companies that waited 24 hours. Guys, if you're waiting 24 hours to get back to someone, you're 60 times less likely to get that business. And the companies that do it almost immediately are 7 times more likely than the people that do it within an hour. Are you getting this? This is ridiculous, right? This is so true. So quick plug here. So I run Home Pro Growth, and we have the world's first all-in-one AI-powered platform for home improvement service providers. This platform, which has a 14-day free trial, by the way, can automate a lot of these processes, okay? It can automate reaching out to that customer within minutes, okay? So even if you're not using Google local service ads where the customer's contacting you, it can get in touch with them immediately. It's got live chat on your site that is trained on your business that can answer questions for you. If a customer calls you and you're on a job and you miss call, it will automatically text them back for you to engage the conversation, okay? So that's just 3 ways you can automate speed to lead really quickly with the platform. homeprogrowth.com if you want to check that out. Link in bio. Okay. So the next thing, step 3, right? You've gone through getting more traffic, you've nurtured. So now we're going to talk about conversion. One of the first things you need to do for conversion is have social proof, okay? So what does that mean? We're talking things like social media and Google reviews. Homeowners do their due diligence checking you out on social, okay? Social doesn't directly sell, and that's why a lot of people don't like to invest money in social, but it's where homeowners go before they're willing to buy and before they're willing to reach out to you to see what you're really about. This is about safety and numbers. So again, we're wired in the DNA, like from an evolutionary perspective, to seek out safety in numbers. And we have like this cognitive bias, this decision-making bias, where if we see a lot of people doing something, we'll assume it's safe because they've already vetted and verified you, right? So lots of reviews, lots of social proof is credibility by association or credibility in numbers. So what you should have on your website is completed projects, right? So I'm talking about before and after pictures, homeowner testimonial videos of them saying awesome things, showing you around. We used to actually go with the video team, interview the homeowner and get them to walk us through the home and tell us how they were using the spaces. You don't need to do that. You can do it with your phone. You can get the homeowner to do it and film it themselves, okay? Even just the homeowner's face on screen saying, hey, I had my project done by XYZ company. They did it in 6 weeks. It was awesome. Look at it. It's going to be huge, right? If you can't get videos, have screenshots of your Google reviews from homeowners. Even better, if you can get homeowners to do the post themselves and tag you, you can then like screenshot that. You know, sometimes they'll do a short story, even if they won't do a post. Screenshot the story, put it in your Instagram stories. Make sure you have a lot of stories and a lot of highlights of this kind of stuff, okay? Anything, especially less than 60 seconds, that shows you doing excellent work is going to get more attention, because we're in kind of an attention-starved economy, right? So if homeowners, if the videos, are 60 seconds, 30 seconds, and it's like you on the job, hey, working here on the roof, over here at this project in, say the name of the community, stuff like that, even if you don't have too many testimonials and reviews, is super powerful, okay? Discovery call. So just a couple more things. Last three things. Discovery call. The speed of getting back to the client from a lead to book them to a discovery call is exactly the same as the speed to lead. So the first reach out is about responding to the lead. It's the same with the discovery call. The sooner you can get the discovery call, the sooner you're going to close more business. When we shrunk how long it took us to see a homeowner and to book in the discovery call, our revenue expanded significantly. We're talking 2 to 3x increase in revenue annually. When you're on the discovery call, as I mentioned earlier, listen, right? Do not just talk and sell. Ask questions. Ask them, tell me about the issue and where are you? Do a little bit of rapport at the beginning. Oh, you're over in this community. Yeah, I live over here. Yeah. Like, just sell them on why you're a member of the community, why you are like them, first of all, okay? We buy from people like us. Then you're going to listen. Okay, cool. So I guess you reached out because you're curious about getting your roof fixed. Why don't you tell me about it? And listen, ask follow-up questions, okay? Everybody else is on the phone and they're too quick to just try and sell and be the expert and tell the homeowner how it is, okay? Yes, you are the expert when it comes to this technical work, but the homeowner needs to feel like they're listened to, okay? And there's a time to bring your expertise in, and it's after you've diagnosed the problem. So be like a doctor, okay? Don't give solutions before you've diagnosed the problem. Listen to them, try and understand, and then you can say, you know, what it sounds like is, and I'll need to come and see it, but what it sounds like is this. And that sets up the home visit, okay? So that is really important. Educate them a bit, and then also also offer the buying criteria info. So once you get the call booked, as I mentioned, you're going to tell them, hey, it would be awesome if you can check your inbox, give me your email address. Okay, get their email address. I'm going to send you over a guide that's really important. And this is the piece where you're going to tell them about, the other companies that kind of cut corners sometimes. This will save you making an expensive mistake. I'm going to shoot it over. Whether you hire us or not, have a look at it before you hire anybody. It's going to save you a lot of hassle and a lot of money. Boom. Okay, you're done. Then when you do the discovery call, then when you do the home visit, you're doing the same thing as the discovery call. You're going to listen, get them to show you around, make them feel good, okay? You're in their home, so be a good guest. For the home visit, yes, you can do it virtually. I see a lot of companies who are doing this. That's okay for like maintenance type stuff, but if this is a big project and it's sizable, and if you really want to get this 25K in the 30 days, take the time to go, okay? You can qualify them on the discovery call. So if it's a small job, maybe you don't do this. But if it feels like it's chunky and you can sense like, okay, this is, a significant job, in-person works. The reason it works is because the homeowner has already invested time, and they're more likely to give you an opportunity to quote unless you really screw up the home visit. So why is that? Well, as humans, we're wired to avoid loss, right? So loss aversion, the fear of loss, is a cognitive bias, like a bias in the way that we make decisions, that explains why people feel the pain of loss twice as intensively as the pleasure of gain, okay? So we try and avoid losses in whatever way possible, and time is something we can't make more of. People are busier than ever. So if I give time for you to come to my home, I don't want to have to do another visit with someone else, right? So again, this is where speed to lead is important. If you're the first to respond and the first to do the discovery call and the first to get in my house, as long as you don't screw it up and you just make me feel weird or you've got terrible reviews, I'm going to ask you to quote. And I may give the job because I don't want another 2 lots of contractors in my house. I don't want to have to go through those calls, negotiations. We want speed and convenience, okay? And we just want to trust the person. And if you've done this right, you've responded quickly, you've educated them because of the 5 stages of awareness. So you've built trust. The buying criteria was that you were trying to help them even if there was no value, and you were really quick at responding, getting the discovery call and getting out to them, okay? So there's already like you versus everybody else, you're winning. And the home visit, if you get that, plus that, like this is just killer, guys. Honestly, I can't stress this enough. Then the very, very last thing is going to be about follow-up, okay? So when you do send that quote, and even if this probably applies actually, even if you've spoken to them and they haven't booked a discovery call, which they should, but even if they haven't, follow up for the discovery call, for the home visit, or after a quote is so important. You might have seen this statistic. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. I can tell you that for business owners who are doing the sales themselves, this is worse. This is actual salespeople who are paid by a company to do sales, and half of them are not even following up, right? Which is a sad indictment of our world. But when you're not a salesperson, right, you actually have to do the technical work, plus the invoicing, plus all this other stuff. It's even harder to follow up, but it's so important. And you can really see here, like, it just drops off. So when you know that your competitors are not doing follow-up, if you do it, you will win so much more business. Here's really where it wins. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. This is why it feels like there's not enough leads, right? And the leads are shit, because only 2% are ready to buy. So you need to follow up. Check this. Look, 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. Now, I'm not saying you keep hammering them, but it can be an email. Then it can be a text. Then it can be a call, right? You can alter the way that you show up so it doesn't feel that you're just calling them. But the key is you need follow-up. And again, in Home Pro Growth, our software, you can automate all of that follow-up. And you can do it multi-channel, so it can automate emails, SMSs. There's a lot of really cool stuff you can do. But the money is in the follow-up. You've heard it before, and it's so true. So, guys, I just want to stress here, really, really, this is possible, okay? This is really possible for you to do. If you want some help with automating that, homeprogrowth.com. And if you want my personal help doing that, I'll even help you get set up in the platform at no cost, help you get some of these campaigns underway. But that is exactly what I would do if I had to generate 25K in the next 30 days as a Home Pro. I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions in the comments below? Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Peace.